A dangerous weather pattern is rapidly taking shape across the United States, and the next 12 hours could bring some of the most powerful storms of the summer. Millions of Americans are now under the threat of destructive thunderstorms, hurricane, force wind gusts, large hail, flash flooding, and even isolated tornadoes as a powerful storm system begins sweeping across the country. From Minnesota and Wisconsin to Chicago, Indianapolis, Columbus, and eventually the East Coast, this system is expected to impact more than 30 million people. Some communities could experience widespread power outages, fallen trees, significant travel disruptions, and life-threatening flash flooding. Before starting, take a second to like this video, share it so more people stay safe and informed, and subscribe to the channel with the bell icon on, because the weather situation unfolding across the United States right now demands everyone's attention. So let's get started with today's update. So friends, the greatest concern is that many of these storms may continue after sunset, increasing the danger for people who are sleeping or traveling overnight. The first round of severe weather is expected to develop Friday afternoon across Minnesota and Wisconsin. Meteorologists are monitoring a favorable atmospheric pattern that could trigger widespread thunderstorms capable of producing destructive wind gusts, large hail, and torrential rainfall. Although forecast details may continue to evolve over the coming days, confidence is increasing that this will be a significant severe weather event. Early August often produces some of the strongest thunderstorm outbreaks across the upper Midwest, and this system has many of the ingredients needed to generate widespread impacts. The greatest concern centers on Friday, when nearly 47 million people will be under the threat of severe weather stretching from Chicago and Detroit through Indianapolis, Columbus, Louisville, and into portions of Kentucky and West Virginia. Meteorologists are becoming increasingly confident that a powerful storm system will organize into fast-moving clusters capable of producing widespread damaging winds after sunset and continuing well into the overnight hours. Unlike classic tornado outbreaks, this event is expected to be driven primarily by intense straight-line winds. While an isolated tornado cannot be completely ruled out, the overwhelming threat will come from thunderstorm complexes capable of unleashing wind gusts between 60 and 70 miles per hour, with a few locations potentially experiencing even stronger gusts. Winds of this magnitude are capable of snapping large trees, damaging roofs, bringing down power lines, and leaving thousands without electricity. Large hail is another serious concern. Some of the strongest storms may produce hailstones large enough to crack windshields, damage vehicles, and destroy crops. Residents are urged to move vehicles under shelter whenever possible before storms arrive. The setup behind this outbreak is becoming increasingly impressive. A powerful upper-level disturbance will race around the northeastern edge of a stubborn high-pressure system anchored over the southern plains. At the surface, a strengthening low-pressure system will track from Minnesota toward lower Michigan, while dragging a cold front southeastward into the Ohio Valley. As this front collides with extremely warm, humid air, explosive thunderstorm development becomes increasingly likely. One of the biggest concerns is the potential for storms to organize into a long-lived, fast-moving complex capable of producing widespread destructive wind damage over hundreds of miles. If this occurs, communities across northern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and southern Wisconsin could experience wind gusts powerful enough to bring down large trees, damage homes, and leave thousands without electricity. Because portions of this event may continue after dark, residents should make sure they have multiple reliable ways to receive weather warnings overnight. Many serious weather emergencies occur while people are asleep, making early warnings especially important. Millions of Americans need to pay close attention tonight because one of the most dangerous weather patterns of the summer is beginning to take shape. A powerful storm system is expected to strengthen over the next several days, bringing the threat of destructive winds, giant hail, flash flooding, and even isolated tornadoes across multiple states. Forecasters are becoming increasingly concerned as confidence continues to grow that this system could impact more than 30 million people. Meanwhile, the southeastern United States remains under a serious flood threat. A stalled frontal boundary stretching across the southern Appalachians and the Carolinas continues to draw deep tropical moisture into the region. Atmospheric moisture levels are approaching record values for late July, creating the potential for rainfall rates of 2 to 6 inches per hour. Fortunately, many areas of Texas remain relatively dry, allowing much of this rainfall to be absorbed. However, localized flooding remains possible wherever stronger rain bands stall, especially near Corpus Christi, Brownsville, and surrounding coastal communities. Across eastern Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri, additional overnight thunderstorm complexes are expected through Friday night. Some of these storms may produce rainfall rates exceeding 1 to 3 inches per hour, leading to localized flash flooding where storms repeatedly track over the same location. Some desert communities may approach 115 degrees, while parts of Kansas could exceed 105 degrees early next week. Heat-related illnesses can develop rapidly under these conditions, especially for outdoor workers, older adults, young children, and anyone without reliable air conditioning. Meteorologists are also monitoring the possibility that the upper-level system could evolve into an unusual late July cutoff low over Pennsylvania. If this occurs, thunderstorm coverage may become even more widespread across the mid-Atlantic. Rainfall totals of 1 to 2 inches, with isolated higher amounts, could produce localized flash flooding, especially in mountainous terrain and locations that have already received excessive rainfall in recent weeks. An intense squall line racing east across South Dakota is expected to produce widespread wind gusts between 75 and 90 miles per hour beneath an enhanced risk issued by the storm. Residents are urged to stay hydrated, limit outdoor activity during peak afternoon hours, check frequently on vulnerable family members and neighbors, and never leave children or pets inside parked vehicles. Friday's forecast also depends heavily on what happens during the morning. Scattered thunderstorms are expected to develop across portions of the Midwest and upper Great Lakes early in the day. If those morning storms linger, they may reduce afternoon heating and somewhat limit later storm intensity. However, if skies clear and sunshine returns, the atmosphere will rapidly recharge, allowing explosive thunderstorm development by late afternoon and evening. Forecasting these organized storm complexes remains one of the biggest challenges in meteorology. Global weather models often place them too far north, but even a modest southward shift would dramatically increase the threat across Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. In addition to severe winds, localized flash flooding will also be possible. Rainfall rates exceeding 1 inch per hour may occur beneath the strongest storms. Fortunately, these systems are expected to remain fast, moving, limiting flooding to isolated locations rather than creating widespread flood disasters. Before Monday even arrives, another round of severe weather will develop on Sunday across portions of the upper Midwest. Approximately 12 million people, including those in Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Madison, Rockford, and Green Bay, fall within the Storm Prediction Center's slight risk area. Friday's storms could become particularly intense during the afternoon and evening. One important limiting factor remains a strong atmospheric cap, a warm layer aloft capable of preventing storms from developing altogether. This creates an all-or-nothing scenario. If storms fail to form Sunday, the atmosphere will remain even more unstable heading into Monday, potentially increasing the severity of the next day's outbreak. Overall, the next several days will feature nearly every type of weather hazard imaginable, including severe thunderstorms, destructive winds, large hail, flash flooding, tropical rainfall, and dangerous heat. The Climate Prediction Center continues highlighting portions of the Southwest, Great Basin, and California for an elevated risk of prolonged excessive heat during August 1st and 2. Perhaps most concerning will be the nighttime temperatures. Cities such as Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Death Valley may struggle to cool below 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit overnight, offering little relief and significantly increasing the risk of heat-related illness. This prolonged heat is also accelerating drought development across portions of the Great Plains and Corn Belt, raising additional concerns for agriculture and wildfire potential. Finally, amid all the hazardous weather, one region will enjoy nearly perfect conditions. Interior valleys across southern Oregon and northern California, including Salem, Medford, and Oak Ridge, are expected to experience sunshine, comfortable humidity, light winds, and afternoon temperatures in the low to mid-80s. With little chance of rain and pleasant weather between storm systems, Friday will provide one of the best opportunities in the nation to enjoy outdoor activities. For everyone else, however, the coming days demand attention. Whether your threat comes from severe thunderstorms, destructive winds, giant hail, flash flooding, wildfires, or dangerous heat, now is the time to prepare, not after warnings are issued. Stay weather aware, keep emergency alerts turned on, review your safety plans, and continue monitoring forecast updates as this powerful weather pattern evolves over the next several days.